States, at least Alaska. So how should the White House respond? Here to weigh in, former Deputy Chief of the CIA's Korea Division, Bruce Klingner. Bruce, what would the response be if you were in charge?
Well, the first thing we need to do is ensure that we have sufficient defenses for ourselves and our allies. And as was mentioned earlier, that includes ballistic missile defense. So we need to complete the deployment of the THAAD ballistic missile defense system in South Korea and also ensure we have sufficient ground-based interceptors. We have about 44 currently deployed in Alaska and California. We also need to review the cuts that the Obama administration made to the strategic missile defense systems.
All right, so now Rex Tillerson, the gist of his statement yesterday, says any country that hosts North Korea guest worker, provides economic or military benefits, or fails to fully implement UN Security Council resolution is aiding and abetting a dangerous regime. All nations should publicly demonstrate to North Korea that there are consequences in their pursuit of nuclear weapons. Is that strong enough?
Well, there's an ongoing three-track policy to try to pressure North Korea. One is enforcement, more fully enforce UN Security Council resolution sanctions, and China has been really dropping the ball there. They turn a blind eye to proliferation on their soil from North Korea. They turn a blind eye to Chinese entities engaging with North Korea on prohibited nuclear and missile programs. The second track is U.S. law, and actually the U.S. has been pulling its punches on enforcing its own laws. And the third track is going after even legitimate businesses that are engaging with North Korea, trying to shame them away from such a regime economic. And that includes, as Secretary Tillerson has talked about, these overseas workers that North Korea sends, many of them operating in slave labor conditions, and the wages are going to the regime.
Bruce, there's something about stopping that Macau bank when Condoleezza Rice was Secretary of State that got their attention. Has that ship sailed, or is there another pressure point that we do not know about?
Well, there's a lot of pressure points. And that bank, the Banco Delta Asia, at the time a North Korean official told a White House official, "You finally found a way to hurt us," and then the Bush administration backed away. Last week, the Trump administration sanctioned a Bank of Dandong in China. That's long overdue. There's evidence for that, and as well as many other entities. I've provided a list to the administration of other Chinese entities that ought to be sanctioned. So we need to do more of that.
Bruce Klingner, thanks so much.
Thanks for having me.
All right, 10